5 p.m. Manchester United will be hosting high-flying Brighton, Timothy, in this particular game, 11th against 6th. Usually it would be Brighton in the 11th position, but this time it's Brighton in 6th and Manchester United in 11th. Can they fall back after that early season poor form?
I don't think Man United can afford now to start dropping points.
Any more points?
Let alone being at home, because they are already starting to drift away from the chasing pack for the title. Already 6 points behind Man City and about 4 behind Arsenal, and the other teams are 10 points. So if you continue losing games, then by half season you can't even be in the title talk. So Man United has to look into this game and approach it like it's one of the mini finals they have to play.
It will certainly be very interesting. We know that Ten Hag has issues off the pitch to deal with. We've had the stories about Anthony, and now currently is on leave, for lack of a better word. But he has to focus on the football and try and get something out of the players that he has left at his disposal. We saw against Arsenal, there were some positives, especially with the coming in of Rasmus Højlund. This is the kind of fixture that perhaps he will be expected now to come and start in this game alongside Rashford to try and do something. But in the right wing is where perhaps the coach has a selection dilemma there, with Facundo Pellistri and Garnacho coming into that fold. Who would you pick in that particular position?
Tony, I don't think I would pick a player straight away in that number 7 for Man United, because the Man United fans have cried a lot to have Anthony dropped. But now they are in that situation and they're asking, okay, who plays that position? Because do you go with the inexperienced Pellistri? I don't think he's had a lot of game time, let alone in Man U. And then do you bring in the unproven what's his name? Rashford, of course, can play 11, but you bring Rashford to number 7, I think you'll be killing him. Then Garnacho has played most of his time at the left wing.
At 11.
Do you bring him to number 7? That's a tricky one. So they say be careful what you wish for. Now Man U are in that situation, and for me, I think it's a dangerous situation because it can even alter the formation.
Bruno can operate there.
Bruno has operated there, but he has operated with a number 10 of, say, Weghorst, or Sancho actually played number 10, which they were changing positions. So I don't think you want to sacrifice Bruno away from his best position. That's why I'm telling you, some players might actually have to leave their best positions to cover up that number 7, which becomes even bad. So back to your question, who would I pick? I think I go for Pellistri for a start.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see what Erik ten Hag does in this particular one. Very, very big fixture. Like you said, we cannot afford to see any more points dropped by Manchester United, especially at this stage of the season. The first international break is out of the way. Now is the time to start churning out points. We know they have a big game also coming up in midweek in the Champions League against Bayern. So the coach will be coming into this game trying to maybe think about one eye on the Bayern game and then making sure that he gets full points in this game against Brighton. But don't forget that this is a Brighton side team that has started very, very brilliantly this season. They've been playing scintillating football, apart from the slip that they had the last time out, of course, against West Ham. They've been a very scintillating side to watch. They have the likes of Kaoru Mitoma, Evan Ferguson, who has started the season so well, Solly March. So they have very many people who can hurt this Manchester United side if they don't come meaning the business.
Yeah, I think Man United must be careful, because if they slip off, then Brighton can even hit 4 goals past them. You've mentioned those players, and rightly so. They have goals almost all over the front line, and the likes of Gross can chip.
And assists from the back with Stupinian.
Exactly, Stupinian can assist. So Man United has to approach this game and be cautious of these players. I think it's better even to try and contain them before you impose your game against this Brighton. But like you said, there has been a time when Brighton actually can down the tools and you can beat them convincingly. So Man United will hope that maybe the Brighton that shows up is the one that played against West Ham.
It will certainly be very, very interesting. The way these teams play, Timothy, they all would like to stay on the ball. They all want to attack. Manchester United, of course, we know they favor the 4-2-3-1 formation mostly. Brighton like to play with 3 at the back, and then with 5 at the back, but with 2 marauding wing backs. So will we see the same formation in this particular fixture? It will certainly be very interesting. They've hit the ground running even after losing Moises Caicedo, who we thought that perhaps was going to give them a big problem to fix. But looks like the midfield that they have has been able to contain and even perform higher than expectations.
I think it's the philosophy of their manager. They have that philosophy, and is able to find the players who are actually tailor-made to replace the departing players. We saw when Trossard left, Mitoma came in and is delivered even better. And recently, Caicedo, like you mentioned, and they not felt the pinch yet. So it's a philosophy.
They signed
of the
so
Brighton
well.
team. They signed very well, but they have to be cautious. Tony of Man U, we know Rasmus Højlund might get his full debut against them, and I think he's very hungry. We saw how he wasn't intimidated by the Arsenal defense. He actually looked to be the one bullying them.
He was on top, certainly.
So the Brighton defenders have to be cautious because he could harm them.
Very, very interesting. One more issue that Manchester United needs to deal with is at the back. Of course, we know Varane is still out. In the left back, Shaw is still out. Shall we see Region maybe? Or will Dalot continue in that position that he played against Arsenal? I think he had a very good game against Saka.
He was
really trying to keep Saka quiet in that fixture. So will we see him continuing to deputize for Luke Shaw in that particular one? It's still a very, very tight affair. I think it will have goals, team. I've gone for 2-2 draw for in this particular one.
I've looked at the statistics. Man United has not lost at Old Trafford for over 18 games now. So I think that will be something that will push them above. And I've gone for a slight win, 2-1 Man United.
Very, very big one. Timothy seems to be going with 2-1s today. We'll see how that pans out tomorrow. Very, very big games. That game also starting at 5 p.m. Of course, East African time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be bringing you the Super Sunday.